So good day, I'm Jefferson-Chapter, and today we are going to discuss about our chapter 1 on the NetAcad. So this is the summary. Okay, this is my own summary. So because since the first day of our lesson in the NetAcad, in that course, I've been writing all the stops there and drawing the figures there for my own sake, so that I can read it while I am at home, even when I'm not online, because that ACAD is a online tutor. So let's start. Okay. So first, I'm going to tell you we're going to tackle the components of a network. Okay, these are the building blocks to create a network or a network topology. So these are devices, media, and services. So example of devices are PC, laptop, and the end devices, server, the intermediary devices, router, wireless router, LAN switches, etc. Next is the media or the medium of our network, the LAN, WAN, and wireless. So next, the services on the end device, which are the software and the services, or network applications. So these are the my drawing of those. These are devices and intermediate devices. Network media or medium, and the services and processes. So first, device and media. Okay, I will tell you some of the words that I have. Device and media are the physical elements, okay, of a network topology or device and media. Next is hardware. So it is hardware. It is different from software, of course. Hardware are the physical components. So these are components that can be touched and seen by your eyes. Okay, so example of this are laptop, PC, switch, okay, intermediate devices, or router, and cabling also, if it is not a wireless one. So next is a services, the network applications. Processes provides the functionality that directs and moves the messages through the network. Okay. Next is the end devices. End devices are the source or the target or the destination of the message transmitted over the network. So example of these are our pocket phones, smartphones, laptop, wireless tablets, okay, telepresence also, and IP phone, I think, IP phones. So next are the intermediary devices. So what are examples of intermediary devices are the wireless router, LAN switch, multi-layer switch, and firewall appliance. So here they are. Here on them, the wireless router. So there are two types of router: the wireless router, and the router that is not wireless and is connected to a cable, and the multi-layer switch, firewall appliance, and the LAN switch. So intermediate devices connect the individual end devices to the network and can connect multiple individual networks to form a inter-network or a network topology. Okay. So next is are the network medias or mediums, the LAN ones and the wireless that I told you earlier. So these are the copper, fiber optic, and the wireless. So copper or metallic wires within cables. The data is encoded through electrical impulses. Next is the optic cables or fiber optic cables, which is the data is encoded to light impulses, and lastly is the wireless in transmission. So data is encoded using wavelengths from the electromagnetic spectrum. So next is this is a extra, I think, so I copied this just for a okay. network interface card. So network interface card, or NIC, or LAN adapter, provides a physical connection to the network at the PC or other device. The media that are connecting the PC to the networking device plug directly into the NIC. Okay. Next. Okay. So next is I've drawn an example of a network topology. So here it is. So this printer, laptop, wireless tablet here, your printer pieces here, okay, 6 pieces, and a server are the end devices, okay, and this uh, router and LAN switch and modem are the intermediary devices that connects. Oh, they are connect. Next is the I mean next is the medium, or the network media, which is this is a WAN, LAN, and this is a wireless connection. So they are connecting the end devices to our intermediary devices, and intermediary devices connects to the internet by our wireless area network. So next are the type of networks. So there is a local area network, wide area network, metropolitan area network, wireless LAN, and storage area network. So first is local area network, or LAN. This spans a physical. Okay, this spans a small geographic area. So example is our home network, or for the small businesses. Next is the wide area network, or WAN. So this spans a wide physical geographic area. So example of this is the telecommunications. Okay. So these ones connects. So example, there are two LANs, and in the middle there is a WAN. So those two LANs are connected to only one LANs. Okay. To only one telecommunication, or network service provider. Okay. Internet service provider. Okay. So next is metropolitan area network, or MAN. So this spans a physical area larger a LAN, but not larger LAN but smaller than one. Okay. So example of this is a city or a campus. Okay. Next is wireless LAN. So this is similar to LAN, but the difference is it is wireless. So next is storage area network. Support file servers and provide data storage, retrieval, and replications. Okay, so I have two figures here. This is an example of a LAN, and this is an example of a WAN. So like I said earlier, these are two LANs here, and this is one that connects the two LANs from each other. So next is the intranet, or the extranet, intranet, extranet, and internet. So first is the extranet. So extranet or contains private data. Okay, private connection of LANs and WANs that belongs to an organization. For example, as the company, data on the company that are private or inside the intranet. So next, the extranet provides secure and safe access to individuals who work for a different organization. So examples are the suppliers, customers, and the collaborators. And lastly is the internet. So it is spread throughout the world. Right? So this is the figure right here. The internet, extranet, and the internet. Okay. Next. Next are the connection options. Okay. So cable, DSL, cellular, and satellite, and dial-up phones. So first is the cable and DSL. So cable carried on the same cable, high bandwidth, always on connection to the internet. So example of this is our home users. So this is the figure here. This is the ISP, or the internet service provider, that is connected by cable and DSL to a home user. So a DSL is a digital subscriber line. So next is the cellular. It uses cell phone network to connect, and performance can be limited by the capabilities of the phone and or the cell tower. So this is the cellular. Okay, and it is for example, is our mobile phones, smartphones that we users have. And next is satellite. Dishes requires a clear line of sight to the satellite. So on Earth, here at land, we have satellite dishes, and on space there is a installed satellite there that connects through wavelengths. They are wireless. Next is the dial-up telephone. So if the cable and DSL are high bandwidth, these dial-up telephones are low bandwidth. They are an inexpensive option that uses any phone line and a modem. So note, the choice of connection varies depending on geographical location and service availability. So example, you are a in a city or at a barangay, and the ISP or the internet service provider that you want to be connected is not available because they don't have wirings, or they can't reach that specific location that you have. So they can't be available for you to avail their service. So you have to look for other ISPs or internet service provider. So next is the dedicated list lanes, reserved circuits within the service provider's network. So it is inexpensive, or it is expensive. Next is Ethernet 1. Ethernet 1s extend LAN access technology into the ones. Next is there are two types of DSL, or digital subscriber lines: the asymmetrical and symmetrical. So the symmetrical, or symmetrical means it is equal. Asymmetrical means it is not equal or unbalanced. So asymmetrical DSL or ADSL means that the download speed is faster than the upload speed, and symmetrical DSL or SDSL means the uploads and the downloads are at the same speed. Okay, next is the multiple networks. So before, we are using multiple networks, so we have separate networks, like computer networks, telephone networks, and broadcast networks. But nowadays we use converged networks. So what is a converged network? Converged network are carry multiple services on one network. So here is an example of a multiple network. Okay. Next is the network architecture. So technologies that support the infrastructure and program services and rules and protocols that move data across networks. So example of the network architecture are fault tolerance, scalability, security, quality of service. So sorry, these are the reliable networks. So our first is the fault tolerance. So fault tolerance limits the impact of a failure, so the fewest number of devices are affected. So example, this is it. Okay, there's a figure here. So example, there is a problem on the router here, at the first router connected to the internet. So there may be a change of download speed, or maybe you will have a slower connection on the internet, but it will take I think few seconds only, because this is a fault tolerant network. So it means even if this router is damaged, you will uh, you will still be connected to the internet after a few seconds, I think. So next is scalability. Scalability means that it is a network that can expand quickly to support new users and app without affecting or impacting the performance of the service being delivered, okay, of the existing users. So example is you have a computer shop or internet cafe. So at first you have 10 units, but as your business grows, you have to expand your number of PCs. So for the customers to use, so you decided to add five more units on your computer shop or internet cafe. So even if you connect these five PCs or five desktops on your internet connection, the internet connection will not be slowed. Okay, it will not affect the services that the others have or the others acquired. Okay, that means that network is scalable. So next is quality of service. Okay, so the quality of service, they have a priority ones and ones that is the lower priority. So the priority are the communications. Okay, example are the IP phones. Okay, communication networks, because even if you are using a uh, IP phone and the connection is always slow or it is not connecting, okay, the customers or the clients will be enraged and report this problem to your company. So they have a higher priority on IP phones or in the connections, communications, than the lower priority, which is the websites, for example, are the websites. So this can may load slower, means sometimes, okay, but okay, that doesn't mean that that they give a slow service on the internet connection for your surfing, okay, or searching for some websites or sites. So next topics are the new trends: BYOD, online collaboration, video communications, cloud computing, or storage. So I will give examples on the BYOD, online collaboration, and cloud computing only. Okay. BYOD or bring your own device. Okay, we are using this right now. For example, here at Batangas State University, you are using we have Wi-Fi here on every campus, in the main one and main two campus. So you will bring your own device like smartphones, laptops, wireless tablets to connect to that wireless network. Okay, so next, the online collaboration. So as far as I know, example of this online collaboration is the Cisco WebEx, which you can communicate audiovisual via online. Okay, it's audiovisual communication. Okay, you can proceed there your meetings, so meetings or presentations for your company, even if you are at home or even if you are from other country. So next is cloud computing. This is a storage, right? A cloud storage. So the type of clouds are public, private, hybrid, and custom. So next is power line networking. So power line networking are networking wiring to connect devices. Next, WISP. ISP that connects subscribers to a designated access point or hotspot using similar wireless technologies or devices. So our next topic is security threats. Okay, so first are virus, worms, Trojan horses. So these are malicious software and arbitrary code running on a user device. So everyone of us have experience having a virus on our computer, desktop, laptops, or smartphones, or any flash drive. Okay, so sometimes your data are all erased, so you have to retrieve it. And so Trojan horses, So Trojan horses are like applications or files that spies on your data on your laptop. So next is spyware and adware. So software installed on a user device that secretly collects information about the user. So okay, it's not like a Trojan horse. So spyware is an active application. Okay, is this software installed on a user device that secretly collects information. So this is like this application gets information and gets access to your laptop once it is installed to your device. Okay, next is the zero day attack. Occurs on the first day that a vulnerability becomes known. Next is hacker attacks. An attack by a knowledge person to user devices or network resources. Next is denial of service. Attacks designed to slow or crash applications and processes on a network device. Next is data interception and theft. So attack to capture private information from an organization's network. Next is identity theft. Attack to steal the login credentials of a user in order to access private data. So there are there are two types of threats, the internal threats and the external threats. So security solutions. So there are no single solution for all the threats that I have mentioned earlier. So these are the sum of the security solutions. So antivirus and anti-spyware. So this protects the end devices to be infected with malicious software. So example of this is antiviruses are asset. Lots of there are lots of example of antiviruses application that are free and some are to be paid. Okay, so next is firewall filtering, block unauthorized access to the network. Next is dedicated firewall systems. These are used to provide more advanced firewall capabilities that can filter large amounts of traffic with more granularity. Okay, next is access control list or ACL. These are used to further filter access and traffic forwarding. Next is intrusion prevention systems or IPS. Intrusion prevention. These are used to identify fast spreading threats such as zero-day or zero-hour attacks. And last is virtual private networks or VPN to provide source or secure access to remote workers. So that's all for the summary of the chapter 1. Thank you.